Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. My name is Janie Charlot, and welcome to a new podcast, guys. Today, I am talking about integrating knowledge into wisdom. And I want to take my time on this podcast because this is important. All right. We are in the age of information. All right. And we have information coming at us so much right now. And you really have to be able to sift through. You have to discard what you don't need. You have to be able to focus in on what you're looking for. And I think it takes skill. Okay. And so I want to talk about integrating knowledge into wisdom. Okay. I'm going to talk about knowledge. I'm going to talk about wisdom, and I'm going to talk about how those two come together. Um, First of all, I just want to say that right now, energy is speeding up. All right, on the planet. If you haven't felt that, perhaps you will pretty soon. Therefore, information is coming very, very fast. All right. And I've had people tell me, I'll say something, then I look on my phone, and whatever I said is right there on my phone as if somebody is listening to me. Well, that's a whole nother level. I think there is a lot of advanced technology, even on our phones, okay, through the microphone, through face recognition, through a lot of things. There's a lot of advanced technology, but we also are in this quantum field. All right, it's an unseen field. All right, and it's metaphysics, and if you do some research on it, you'll understand that we are all pretty much every word or every thought that we have, we're actually buzzing out into the quantum, and then it attracts back to us. If we hold a thought for 17 seconds, more thoughts like it start to come in. All right. So, in this big old information era that we're into, information is going to come really fast, is going to keep coming. All right. And I think it's so important to understand what knowledge is, what right knowledge is, understanding that knowledge, and then applying it, which is wisdom. You cannot apply anything you don't understand. All right. And then if you understand the wrong knowledge, then you're going to end up in the same place you started. All right. So, what is knowledge? Knowledge is just information. All right. It could be facts, it could be data, it could be research, it could be analytics. I mean, it's just information. And if you have a large capacity to process, to memorize information, then you could hold a lot of information. All right. Um, so I want you to understand what knowledge is just information. You could get this information in so many ways. You could get it by reading, research, podcasts like this. You could get information scrolling through your phone. You could read articles. You could go through statistics. There's a million ways that you could get knowledge, right? It's all over. All right. And again, it's coming in faster than ever before. All right. So I want to also preface that knowledge does come before wisdom. All right. Because wisdom is applying the things, the knowledge that you have gained. So knowledge does come before wisdom. All right. So that's why it's so important that we stay open to information. All right. Even though the information may challenge our beliefs, it may be different than something we knew of before. Stay open to information, stay open to knowledge. And I'm going to tell you guys, let me give you a 4-step process in how to really look at knowledge, information, how to place it, and how to go down these steps and turn it into wisdom. All right. Because that's really why we need information. We need knowledge, because if we apply this knowledge, whatever piece of knowledge it is, somehow, some way, the results are going to give us what we're looking for. That's what knowledge is all about. All right. Just to know a whole bunch of things. Why? All right. How are we using it? Why do we want to know it? All right. So that's knowledge. All right. Let's talk a little bit about wisdom. All right. So wisdom is applying the knowledge that you have, is putting it into action. I want to use this example, all right, because this actually happened to me before, all right. So I had a friend that was giving me her opinion about, rearing children. And she is not a mother. She has never had any kids. And as far as I know, she has not helped to rear any children either, because you don't necessarily have to be a biological mother to understand children, to help raise children and that kind of thing. But in the knowledge that she had gained through research, through reading things, she gave an opinion, right? So again, wisdom is when you can put in the knowledge that you have by experience. All right. You put in this knowledge through action and experience. And that's very, very important. Another example I want to give is you could ask and you could read and you can watch tons of videos on what is it like to go through childbirth as a woman. How is it to go through childbirth? I could give you all the information based on my own experience. I could, send you articles. I could tell you books to read. But until you go through that experience, you have to figure out what that is for you. And then you will gain wisdom according to that experience, because even our experiences are different. All right. And most people will give you an opinion based on their experience, but their experience doesn't necessarily have to be your experience, right? Now, I do believe through experience, people can give you good tips and tools. Hey, in my experience, this is what happened. I I recommend not doing it that way. Here's another tip you could try. So experience is important, but still take it with a grain of salt, because everyone is only giving you their opinion based on their experience. All right. Wisdom is you going through it and developing your own wisdom, you're having your own experience and coming to your own conclusions because you experienced it. All right. That is wisdom. All right. Wisdom is also putting in our senses, our insight, our intuition, and tapping into the knowledge that we have and discerning a situation and then making a decision to do what we need to do. That's also wisdom. That's the deeper esoteric layer of wisdom. Okay. So it is also applying the knowledge that we have. All right. If I have knowledge of this and I never apply it into my life, I will never ever get out what I'm supposed to get by applying it. All right. So that's wisdom. But you take it a step deeper and you apply your senses, your perception, your intuition, and the knowledge to make a sound decision. All right. So wisdom is being able to foresee things that has not already happened, but according to this knowledge, according to the senses of what I'm feeling, according to my intuition, I'm going to do this because wisdom is taking me in that direction. All right. Knowledge is just knowledge, straight facts. You have a bunch of people that have tons of knowledge. All right. Like they say, book knowledge, but no common sense, because that's because they read up on something, but they've never applied it. They never actually just took what they read or gained the knowledge and never applied it. All right. So I just want to really, really hone in on that wisdom part. All right. Another thing, as far as wisdom and knowledge is a huge left brain function, because it is processing information, is gathering information, is holding information, is memorizing information, and is being able to process. That is a total left brain function. All right. The other side of the brain, which is the right brain, is taking that information, crossing it over, applying it, and also using perception and intuition and our senses to put that knowledge into a decision that we cannot currently see. All right. So we have to use the knowledge that we have and apply it into a situation that we don't currently know the outcome. But wisdom is guiding us. Wisdom is saying, here's everything that I know, that I feel, that I sense, and I'm going to go this route. All right. So that is wisdom. That is applying wisdom. All right. So I want to talk about some steps, all right, into how to integrate knowledge into wisdom. And what I mean by integrating is putting the knowledge into the wisdom for an outcome that may not be very clear, all right? But through the knowledge, the perception, your intuition, you are discerning a situation and then going a certain direction to make it, to come up with the outcome, all right? So I want to talk 4 steps. I'm going to talk about 4 steps in how to integrate knowledge into wisdom. First of all, step 1 is let knowledge in. Okay. This is being open to information. All right. Information that you may not have been privy to before. Information that may blow your mind. Information that you may even want to reject at first. All right. In this first step, it is a learning phase. You are gathering information. You're gathering knowledge. You're gathering statistics. You're gathering the data. All right. You're doing the research. You're going through and you're figuring it all out. You're gathering. All right. So you're letting in information, but you have to be open in order to let in new knowledge, right? Okay. So step 2 is we're going to try the knowledge on. And what I mean by that is the information that I've gathered, the knowledge and the research in the different ways. Maybe I read it, maybe I listened to it on a podcast, maybe I read an article, maybe somebody told me in their own wisdom and their own experience. Does that feel for me? How does that resonate to me in my current situation, in my current life? How does it resonate with the truth of what I know to be? Okay. So the second phase is trying it on. We're trying on this knowledge. Okay. I hear what you're saying. I read it. All right. I heard somebody else say it. All right. Now, how does that feel to me? Right? How does that resonate? How does that feel in my body? All right. How does that feel in my senses? How does that feel? All right. So that's trying it on. All right. Step 3 is making it your own. All right. So I've gathered the information, the knowledge from all the sources. I tried it on. So I sat with it and I tried to see how it resonated with the truth of who I am. I tried to see how it made me feel. Could it expand me? Could this information make my life better? So I tried it on. Now, in step 3, I'm going to make it my own. And what I mean by that is I may have this information and I may make it make sense for me. All right. I'm not changing the information. I'm not changing the truth of what the information is. And I'm not changing what the outcome of applying this information will give me. I'm just applying it and making it a way that makes sense to me. All right. How can I reword it so that I could understand it? How can I maybe formulate a picture in my mind so that I could understand it? How can I maybe use another example than what was presented to me for it to click? All right. How do I make it my own? All right. And um we have a lot of different ways of doing that. And that's the point of gathering information, all right? Seeing how it fits for you and then making it your own, all right? And I'm going to give an example of these steps, all right? And then the fourth step is embodying it, all right? It is getting the result of what this information was supposed to be. Okay. So it is letting it in. All right. Being open to the new information, taking it in. Just as just the learning stage. I'm taking in information, going to different sources, researching it, taking it in. All right. Then I'm trying it on. I'm seeing how it resonate. Like, man, this changed my life. Could this expand me? This bring me more happiness? Could this bring me more love? Could this bring me more balance, more peace? How does it feel and resonate for what I want, right? Then I make it my own. All right. So this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I could best do it. This is how it will work for me, right? So that is making it your own. All right. Then I embody it. I have integrated the knowledge, and now I have become the new person, the new goal, the new situation, whatever it is. And I have embodied the knowledge, and now I have attained the wisdom, and now I have attained my goal by applying the knowledge and making it my own, right? So let me give you an example, right? So let's talk about love, all right? Because um that was such unconditional love, was such a spiritual awakening on a totally different level for me. So, and I have been able to integrate that information, and I've been able to make it my own, and I've been able to embody it. All right. So let it in, right? So that stage for me was, all right, this something has happened, right? I am seeing the world differently. My heart is radiating wide open. I see the oneness in all that is, in all of the cosmos, all of creation. And I know that this is a different feeling. This is a different knowledge of love, a different level of love than what I am familiar with, right? So I start to gather information. I research, I listen to podcasts, I read articles. I try to write what happened in my own experience, right? That is letting in new information, right? Oh, well, this podcast says that God is love and love is God, that love is a vibration, love is an energy, love is healing. There's a science to love, there's hormones to love, right? So I'm gathering all this information, right? Then step two is I try it on. I sit and I resonate and see, how does this feel for me, right? It feels good. It's bliss. It expands me. Unconditional love is putting out love and getting love in return in all relationships, in business and personal, and everything I do. Seeing love as the bottom line, right? Making love the bottom line, returning to love, knowing that our true essence and spirit is love, right? Unlearning fear. So I try it on. I see what that feels like for me and where I want to go and the person I want to be and how I want to show up in the world. All right. So that was step 2, trying it on. Okay. Step 3, making it your own. I made it my own. All right. Through that, this podcast was established. Matters of the Heart and Soul. All right. Talking about heart things, love things, soul things, spiritual evolution. All right. Writing a book, capacity to love. All right. Also, restructuring my entire business with love as the bottom line, restructuring my relationships and how I see the world with love as the bottom line. All right. Making it my own. All right. Embody what you have learned is the fourth step is I have embodied that vibration of love. Therefore, everything I radiate out is from love. It's not from fear. It's not from lack. It's not from anything else. It's from love. So I have taken information, I have tried it on, how it fits for me, made it my own, turned it into a book, turned it into a podcast, turned it into transformational coaching, teaching others on how this vibration of love is so multidimensional. And then I embody it. I become that vibration. I am that vibration. I know that my true essence is love. We are all love. All right. Anything that you believe that is not of love is purely an illusion. I know that at the spiritual level, I am love. So I embody that information. All right. So that is steps from knowledge, all right, to wisdom and integrating that and making that knowledge your own and then using it as wisdom into getting the outcome, the life, the results that you want to see happen in your life. All right. So I know everyone has probably heard of, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and that is true. But I believe the order is knowledge, all right? And then it is having the right knowledge because not all knowledge is right knowledge. All right. And through sitting with it and trying it on, you may know that when knowledge is not right knowledge for you. All right. And that is a process. All right. So it's knowledge, then it's right knowledge. But then it is how well do you understand that knowledge? All right. Because you can't embody, you can't apply anything you cannot understand. And that goes in everything. That goes in a job, that goes for relationships, that goes for any goal you want to set. You have to have an understanding of what you're doing, the knowledge you have. So it's knowledge, but it's right knowledge. Do I have the right knowledge? All right. And it's a process of knowing what's right knowledge. All right. And then how well do I understand this right knowledge? How well do I understand it? Do I really, really understand it? And the process of understanding is, going through different sources, seeing how that resonates, seeing, all right, getting information from more than one source, all right? And then it is wisdom, applying that right knowledge. So that is all I have. I hope that that is clear. But I think it's so important that I did a podcast on, knowledge, wisdom, understanding and integrating knowledge into wisdom and walking in wisdom. All right. Not just knowledge, right? People walk around with knowledge all day long. All right. They're just like encyclopedias in their head, but they have not applied this in real life. They have no experiences to go along with their knowledge, so everything is just from a conceptual standpoint. That's why it's important when you are taking information from people, have they experienced it? If you're wanting some information about marriage and relationships, have the person that you're asking been married? Have they been through relationships? So because experience is the best teacher. It truly is. We could read about things all the time. It's like in an emergency, you get the knowledge on how to do CPR all the time, all right? How to do the breaths, how to do the chest compressions. But when you're in emergency and you're doing first aid and you're having to do those breaths and those chest compressions, it's totally different, right? So if you've never had to apply the knowledge that you learned in your CPR class in a real live, life or death situation and do CPR on somebody, you won't know how it is, right? So, knowledge, right knowledge, all right? Understanding the right knowledge and then turning it into wisdom by applying it through experience in your life, all right? And getting your own wisdom from it, all right? Because even experience can be different. We could experience the same thing, and what I get from it and what you get from it can be two totally different things, all right? Depending on what our soul needs to learn at that moment in time, all right? So that's it, guys. This has been another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. My name is Janie Charlot, and again, this podcast is inspired by love, relationships, spirituality, justice, culture, personal growth, energy and vibrations, universal principles, health, education, music, masculine, feminine energy, and all things of the heart and soul. Our mission for this podcast is to align our hearts with our minds for perfect alignment. All right, guys? So we appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave us a comment, and we will see you at the next episode. Take care.